All right, we're back, baby. Huddle Up podcast number 23. Hayden sipping water. I'm sipping a shake. Let's get it, man. We got this NFL trade deadline day. We just finished the World Series, obviously. College basketball, which we won't talk about, but it is back as of last night, which is sick. Shout out Donovan Dent. Go Bruins, baby. But let's start. Let's start with the World Series. Dodgers have done it again, man, in pretty insane fashion. I was bummed that I couldn't sit and watch the game through and through. I was at the Tennessee Oklahoma game, as you know, which went late. I was able to watch ninth and on, pretty locked in, but I would have loved to have seen kind of the whole game 7. I was dialed in for most of the series, but Dodgers win bottom 10, right? Bottom 10 or bottom 11?
11th.
Okay, yeah, bottom 11. And 5-4, man, with Will Smith hitting the legacy bomb. So, this is a crazy game. I mean, you'll have more, in-depth-esque thoughts than I do, but I mean, just from an outside perspective, that play at home was pretty. I mean, they made the right call. I'm not accusing or anything, but so close. That was very close when his foot was off the bat. Oh my gosh, that was close. And then obviously, Rojas hit the home run. Will Smith hit the home run. Just crazy. I mean, they were. It was at 4-2 at one point. That's right.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
I mean, it was 3-0 in the third.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like it was over.
Yeah. Yamamoto won World Series MVP after entering the pitch in the 9th. I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Should be right. Yep. Yeah, man. So you can give some more thoughts, and I'll kind of reflect. What do you got?
No. I mean, I think the last time that we recorded that last episode came out maybe almost a week ago.
Yep.
And I think you and I were both in agreement that it was going to go 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, I kind of, I wouldn't say gave up, but I definitely was down in the dumps about the game, and I definitely didn't think that the Dodgers were going to pull it out, because after Game 5, I mean, they just looked just straight up terrible. Like they mustered 6-7. I think they scored 3 runs between games 4 and 5 when it was Bieber and Savage starting both of those games. And it's not like their offense clicked at any point necessarily to the point where they were just piling on runs. Like they killed the Reds in the wild card round, and I think they scored almost 20 runs between the 2 games. And then after that, there wasn't a series where they scored anything close to that. Like, I don't even know if they scored more than 5 runs in a game after. Maybe once in the Brewers series, but I honestly don't think they scored more than 5 the rest of the postseason. Which is, they scored 6 against the Jays in Game 3 when it went 18 innings, but they basically played 2 games. I was pretty shocked. I watched games. I watched the last 2 games.
They had 5 in Game 1 Philly.
Mm-hmm.
5 Brewers Game 2. 5 Game 4 in the sweep, yep. And then 5 and then 6 in 2 and 3 Blue Jays.
So, I mean, it's pretty sad that high paid of a lineup did not pull through more. And you saw throughout the postseason, the Blue Jays were just playing scrappy ball, getting the bat on the ball, and playing just much better team baseball just throughout the course of the postseason. Like, Clement came through, Barger came through, Bichette in the World Series came through, Springer looked Like he was in his prime. Obviously, Vladdy was amazing, and then you got guys like Lucas Schneider contributing. Yeah, I definitely I was I was bracing for a World Series loss. Like last year when the Dodgers beat the Padres, it was kind of like, oh shit, like they're gonna win it because they got like the monkey off their back kind of situation.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, obviously, the big storyline is Yamamoto pitching a day after going six innings in Game Six, and then he pitched in relief 2 2/3 in Game Seven. Um, Best pitcher on the planet right now. I think that's not a. I don't think that's a stretch to say just with the postseason he had. Like that's the best postseason pitching performance and best postseason pitching performance since Madison Bumgarner, and I want to say 2014 when they beat the Royals in the postseason. He had a very similar postseason. I think he pitched about. I think he pitched more innings than Yamamoto, but then again, OPS wasn't a big thing back in the day, or not back in the day. I mean, it was 10 years ago. But the
Yeah, I
the
know what you
team,
meant, yeah.
the teams that Yamamoto faced and played against were much better offensively. I don't think that that's crazy to say when you compare the two.
Yeah.
But I mean, just I called my dad after my dad actually called me after Game Seven, and said that was probably the craziest baseball game he had ever seen. Which is, I mean, he's about to be I think 63, and so in
Yeah.
63 years of time, him saying that is kind of crazy. Just because of how many games obviously have gone on in the postseason and how many classic games there have been. Um, but I think some of the unsung heroes for the Dodgers, and obviously props to the Blue Jays because they took this Dodgers team to 7 games, and honestly, I mean they should have won. I don't think that that's um, like a stretch to say by the farthest part of imagination. Like they had so many opportunities to win the game, and I'd honestly go as far as to say that John Schneider kind of overmanaged them a little bit, which is hilarious considering that my mortal enemy Dave Roberts um, actually did a good job in Game Seven with everything except for pulling Otani in the third inning instead of after the second because he gave up that Bichette bomb. Which, if you
Yeah.
watch the game, Otani didn't have it in the first or second inning, and he escaped the bases loaded jam in the second. So like, there's no
Yeah.
viable reason he should have been out there for the third. But I mean, Will Smith cracked open the door in Game Two to give Yamamoto the dub. He obviously had the home run. And funny enough, the 2 home runs that he hit in the World Series came in 2 and 7, as did Muncy. Muncy hit a fucking nuke off of Yasavage in the 8th inning, I want to say, in Game 7. That brought it back within one. Obviously, Miguel Rojas. That was the most unexpected hit, let alone home run I've seen in my life. Just
First homer in the playoffs
I mean,
for him.
first homer since September 19th and first hit in over 30 something days for him. Like, it's just so unreal that he came through for them. And the irony of it all is that he's, you know, a 30, I want to say 6-year-old guy who is a utility player for them, didn't really play much and made $5 million this year.
Yeah.
And he's someone that I was pretty thoroughly disappointed with, or not disappointed, but I wasn't a huge fan of him because I think last year during the Padres series he had a really bad play at second that almost cost them a game, or might have resulted in some runs. And from that point forward, I wasn't a big fan. But, I mean, he played his ass off. Like you said, the play at home, he almost stumbled when the ball
Yeah,
came to
that was
him
the
off
most
of Varsho's
unreal
bat.
thing. Like, I just could not believe that. And it was, I'm not some conspirator or anything. I'm not saying it was the right call, but the fact that it even was close because he lifted his foot first, it just was insane. It was like, are they gonna
Yeah, and and the crazier part is that the game before, right? The game ended when Kike came in on that fly ball from Jimenez, which I think they said had a 19%
unreal
catch
play by the way.
probability.
Yeah.
What's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut it. That was just unreal. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Unreal play. I forgot
yeah.
about that actually.
And then the pick by Rojas at second, which was probably even less likely than the Kike catch. That I think the turning point in the World Series game, which I mean, there's probably so many of them, but they swapped Bichette out for Isaiah Kiner Falefa. You have the bases loaded with one out and Barshow at the plate. All you need to do is get the ball out of the infield.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of Jays fans saying, "Oh, we need to trade Varsho because his bat was terrible." Like, I don't know if it's because they're Canadian or if they're just outright fucking stupid. But there's three positions in baseball where you don't need a lot of offensive production if you can sacrifice it for elite defense, which Varsho is the best center field defender in the entire major leagues.
Yeah.
And that's center field, shortstop, catcher. And I mean, they were getting production out of Jimenez in the 9 hole, and they were obviously getting a lot of production out of Alejandro Kirk. But
Yeah.
it was crazy to me that IKF did not have a bigger secondary lead off of third, especially when there was only one out. And I think he said that it came down to the fact that the third base coach told him to stay close to third because they didn't want Muncy to potentially double him up, which happened in the game before, which I completely understand. But you haven't won a World Series in over 30 years. You're I think before the Yankees, they were the last team to go back to back in 93 and 94, I want to say it was. And you're at home and you can cause a lot of chaos. It was just crazy to me that he didn't have a bigger lead, because if he did, that's the game. I mean, even if he runs through home plate instead of sliding into home plate, they win the game.
Yeah.
Crazy plays. Andy Pajes in center, Moss and Kike Hernandez. Fucking
That was
hilarious.
wild. I mean, I thought when I was watching that play, I thought it was going to be stupid and
Some bullshit was
they
going
would
to.
run into each other and then the ball was going to drop.
Oh,
Like when I saw them, I was like, oh man, this
Yeah.
ball's coming out.
Yeah, no, it was absurd how many clutch plays the Dodgers made. I mean, and the funny thing is that people were online clowning, or not clowning, but like the announcers were saying, obviously the Blue Jays and the Dodgers play a different brand of baseball offensively, between the Dodgers obviously hitting a lot of home runs and then the Blue Jays kind of stringing together a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And the fact that 3 solo shots essentially won it from the 8th on for the Dodgers is the irony of it all, because in the end, that brand of baseball ended up working. And funny statistic, the team I think that hit whichever team in the World Series hit more home runs in the game won the game, which is a little bit, that's a cool little statistic there. I think the Dodgers had the lowest batting average of a team to win the World Series since the 1960s, which is also a crazy statistic because I think the Dodgers hit 203 as a team. Just
that's
crazy
wild.
World Series. There were a lot of times that I thought this is it. Like after the Ohtani gave up that bomb to Bichette, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, this is just not their year, right? The Blue Jays were playing great baseball. Clement had the most hits, I think, in postseason history with 30. He beat out 2020 postseason Randy, which is when you beat 2020 Randy Rosarena's record in the postseason, that's how you know something's legit, because he holds every single postseason record for some reason, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But I will say this, but I don't know how long we're going to spend on this, but
we got 5 more minutes.
When I was with Ratslap's family, or her roommate, her cousin, and the fiance, I had said in the 8th inning when DeSavage was pitching and I saw Jeff Hoffman warming up, I said, dear God, if they put Jeff Hoffman in this game, the Dodgers have a fucking chance, because that dude is literally a meatball supplier. Like, he is Cisco Systems with supplying straight meatballs. and he served one up on a full count, nonetheless, to fucking Miguel Rojas. Like, that's just, it's still so crazy to me. And then, like,
Yeah.
the ball that Muncy hit off of Savage was crazy because Savage was like usually righties pitch well to lefties pitch well to
Correct.
righties. Like, that's kind of a thing. But
Yep.
Savage had reverse splits. And so Savage was actually more dominant against righties. And then obviously Muncy being a left-hander just took that bitch yard, which was crazy. And then obviously Will Smith saw a hanging, I think it was a slider from Bieber that was just right where he wanted it. And that thing just kept floating and floating and floating to left field, which is it literally landed exactly where Rojas's home run landed. And so, yeah, I as the resident Dodger fan on this podcast, I'm still in shock. I get that they spend the most money in baseball. It's not like the Blue Jays weren't fifth in payroll themselves. So it's not like they were,
They weren't like
in
bottom tier or
it's
anything.
not like we were playing the fucking Pittsburgh Pirates, right? And it's some like crazy Linsanity run. Now, did anybody think the Blue Jays were going to make the World Series, let alone the championship series? Fuck no. And to them,
Their win total in preseason,
it's like 60 something.
Yeah.
Like,
it's one of the biggest overperformances in sports that we've seen in a really long time. Like,
absolutely.
It's not that the favorite wins every year in every sport. Obviously, it's not true, but like, that's a pretty big overperformance. I mean, like, if their win total 60.5, wait, what was it? Was it 60 or 80?
It was like probably just under, I want to say like 69.5, maybe in the low 70s at most.
So that literally is projected to be a losing record.
I mean, I think in the AL East, I think I had them finishing last. I mean, with the way they looked last year, I mean, they were fucking terrible.
They were not good last year. I mean, bizarre.
And credit the hitting coach that they brought in, because he overhauled their system and turned Vladdy back into 2021 Vladdy. I mean, George Springer had a career resurgence. You had guys, Barger, Clement step up, and obviously Bichette, who's a free agent this offseason, had a hell of a year and basically almost beat the Dodgers on one leg because his knee was like, he couldn't run. It's, shout out Jackson and shout out the Blue Jays fans. Like, they're all great people. I have no reason to think that they wouldn't be back at least competing in the playoffs. I think the AL is a little bit weaker than the NL. Just doing a quick projection into next year. NL, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, good. The Braves had an off year.
I think Braves will be back next year with a little more like
Diamondbacks.
Juice. Yeah. Diamondbacks, I don't know. I hope, but
I mean, they almost snuck into the playoffs.
They did
without Lourdes Gurriel tore his ACL. Zach Gallen was terrible. Corbin Burns was hurt.
True.
Ketel Marte missed a lot of time. Like, even the Giants can be a sneaky team next year. I know who's not going to make the postseason next year, and I guess we'll do a baseball episode somewhere down the line. And I told both of my Padre fan friends this, but before the year, dude, they should have traded Machado to the Yankees. They should have traded Tatis to the highest bidder, because now they're going to lose Michael King, Dylan Cease. Darvish just blew out his arm. He's not going to play this year. Pavetta is going to have a player option, I think, after this year, and he's definitely going to get a bigger bag. So your best pitcher in a year is going to be Joe Musgrove, and then on top of that, icing on the cake, you traded a top 3 prospect in baseball for a fucking relief pitcher who you didn't even stretch out into a starter, which would have made it relatively worthwhile. I mean, it's just terrible mismanagement top to bottom. I get, as a Dodgers fan, it's hilarious that I'm talking about the Padres right now, but I knew this was going to happen, and it's just so crazy that some of these teams are still trying to compete with the likes of the Dodgers the Mets, the Yankees, like this elite spending when they can't sustain a level of winning. Um,
Can
and
I?
so,
Sorry. Just
yeah,
really quick because I don't want to. I'm down to go down the rabbit hole. I just want to go back to the World Series really quick and
yeah,
share a
yeah,
couple,
yeah, no, yeah.
and then we can go back potentially add a couple extra minutes here. So I I mean this has to be one of the most, not just because of Game Seven, but because we had an I want to throw this at you because as you know, like hand up, like I'm the football guy, you know, and then the basketball guy kind of second, but baseball is like the recent last couple of years third, you know, so I'm kind of new, right? This has to be one of the craziest World Series like in
Oh,
at least recent history, but maybe like ever. I mean, it's hard for me to say that because like you know, again, I don't have quite the same like, you know, not like I can name every Super Bowl game from, you know, last year to 2000 essentially, right? I could get to like 2018 in baseball, maybe. So
yeah. I no, the, the last crazy World Series game. I mean, obviously the last like last year, fuck no.
no.
Rangers, Diamondbacks, no. I
It
think the
was
year
cool,
before,
but like Diamondbacks,
yeah,
it was cool, but not like this.
because you have to pick a series that goes to Game Seven. I would say just
Yeah.
to get the most maximum amount of baseball. I would have to go back to Rangers and Cardinals. I want to say in 2015. I honestly, it was the year that David Freese came out huge for them, and the Rangers were one out away. And even then, I don't think that the games necessarily supplied the same amount of drama like the Game Three of this year, 18 innings, or even the
Yeah.
Game Seven this year going to extras. Like, I will say that there were some stinkers in this World Series between like the three games the not the Diamondbacks, the three games the Blue Jays won were kind of
I'm looking at them right now, kind of eh. Yeah.
like they won 11-4 game one, and then they won games 4 and 5 like 6-2, then 6-1. Like
Yep.
the games were not over, obviously,
I mean,
but
the
they
11
kind
to
of
4 one was a little brutal because they just
that
kind of started like,
yeah. I mean, they all kind of ended right around the fifth or sixth, and you could tell that was just when the Dodgers shut off, and it was like, okay, on to the next game.
yeah.
Um, but no,
But
I
the
mean this.
18 inning game, and also like, and this is like kind of the sports pedigree kind of take, like the Blue Jays coming off of the Seattle series and then just their run in general. I feel like that has to play a part. That's almost like the New York Giants playing against the you know, undefeated Patriots the one year. Like obviously, you know, the 18-0 Patriots won in this example, but like similar situation. So like you just have like, you know, David and Goliath esque, the two different styles. Like you
No,
just have so much going on. That's
the
like,
Patriots didn't even win when the Patriots were undefeated. They didn't win the Super Bowl that year. I remember that.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like
oh.
that's why it's not quite the same, but in terms of
Yeah.
like Giants were the sixth seed that year before it was a 17 playoff. So they had like no shot of making it to the
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
And they made it. And then the Patriots made it. You know, so that's kind of that's more what I'm saying. Obviously
Yeah.
Giants won, you know, the Dodgers won here. So it's not quite the same, but like in terms of the teams, it's pretty similar. So I just think there were so many stories, and then it went to seven. You had the 18 inning game. Game seven went to extras, like, and then the Kike play with, you know, the throw out. I mean, that was crazy. Like cross body, he's throwing like opposite, obviously. You know, just a lot in this series that was just insane. Like it
Yeah.
has to be one of the best, I would think.
And and going back to that John Schneider point, I obviously like I see people online shit talking Blue Jays fans like as Dodger fans. I think Dodger fans are the most insufferable fan base in the MLB outside of the Yankees and the Phillies. I mean, there's like a few I think that are pretty insufferable. I think they're right up there, and I can admit that. Um, you can't clown any of the players because it's not like, and even then, like the Philly series, right? Orion Kerkering throws home, and it was just a shit throw. He could have thrown to first to get Pajas out. and you know, you could blame him when, I mean, in reality, Schwarber, Harper, Turner didn't show up in the postseason, so like I kind of hold my tongue on that. You can't blame anyone on the Blue Jays, and it's really stupid to shit talk Blue Jays because, I mean, if you're a Dodgers fan like this, you should have handled business sooner than 7 games, especially with the outlook that the two teams had prior to the season. But the thing that never made sense to me was in Game 3, John Schneider pulled Bichette. He pulled, I want to say he pulled Barger from the game, and he pulled, I mean, Springer got hurt, I want to say, in that game. But
Yeah, that was game 3.
like, why the fuck? Like, he was trying to capitalize on base running, but it's like, I get Bichette can't run well, but like, with the way the game was going and no one was scoring, I don't get pulling Bichette. I know Alejandro Kirk might have got a little banged up, but it's like, you have a chance to win the game, and it was basically Vladdy and a bunch of AAA guys versus the Dodgers maximum, like just regular 1 through 9. It just seemed like he overmanaged at points. Like the Jeff Hoff. I mean, you pay Jeff Hoffman a lot of money in the offseason, you bring him over, and then he's got to get the 3 outs in the 9th inning, right, to win the game. But it was like, he showed who he was throughout the regular season. He gave up 15 home runs in the regular season. I just don't. I didn't think that they were gonna pitch him in the 9th inning, and my dream came true because he ended up giving the Dodgers. He opened the door for them. But like,
Yeah,
just some of the decisions he made. I mean, you obviously hindsight's 2020, but like,
for sure.
I don't understand them. There's a few, and I'm sure that Blue Jays fans could say the same thing, but it's just like, you had the series 3-2, and it's just some of the decisions were just bizarre to me, and they were like Dave Roberts-esque decisions with like
Yeah.
Scherzer didn't really look like he had it in Game 7, even though he only allowed, I think, 1 run, maybe 2. But like, it was bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd, it was bases loaded in the top of the 4th, and
In
Scherzer
game 7
didn't have.
with
Yeah,
Scherzer. Yeah,
and Scherzer didn't have it in the first 3 innings, and so it was crazy to me that in the last game of the season, they saved. Like, I would have gone to Bieber earlier instead of using him in extras. Like, I don't know why Savage wasn't used until like the 7th. Like, he only pitched 2 innings. Like, it was just so weird to me how they managed that game. And then
yeah.
going into extras, I want to say that the at bat before Alejandro Kirk hit into the double play, if he was batting 5th or 6th, that means Bichette would have been up earlier. And so it's like, you pull IKF, or you pull Bichette to pinch run IKF, and it's like, you would have had probably the game winning at bat with Bichette with the way he was swinging the bat that game.
Yeah.
I just think that they kind of overdid themselves, especially the third base coach. He had a couple of errors between not letting IKF have a bigger lead, and then there is maybe another time earlier in this series where they tried sending somebody home. I think it was the Davis Schneider when they sent him home in Game
Yes.
3.
Yes. Yeah.
In the long game. Like, yeah, I don't know, but obviously I'm happy that the Dodgers won. I was fully prepared for them to lose and then just say fuck the MLB and just sign Tucker, trade for Skubal, trade for Steven Kwan. I just wanted to give a little outlook on their offseason. I do think that they need to move off. I think Tommy Edman needs to go. Just terrible at bats and terrible defense. Funny enough, Freddie Freeman has saved Tommy Edman twice now on walk-off home runs because in Game 3 he had that terrible error where the ball just passed through his glove.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then last year he had a play where he couldn't get the ball out in the top of the 9th, and it scored a run for the Yankees, and then Freddie Freeman saved his ass. I think Teoscar could be expendable if they pay one more year of his contract, and kind of give him to a team that needs a DH for. If they paid the first year, then he would only be making 11 million per year for the next 2 years, which would be a solid deal for somebody. Um, I don't want Kyle Tucker at all. I think that would be a huge mistake, especially giving him $300 million for however many years. I would much rather have Bichette, but
Sure.
going into next year, I would like to see Freddie Freeman at first, Hyesung Kim at second, Mookie Betts at third, or move Mookie to second, play Freeland at short, re-sign Muncy to be a platoon bat. They're probably going to get Murakami from Japan. That's just the Dodgers are the new Japanese team. We can, that it is what it is.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I
true.
want
I
them,
mean, yeah.
eh, and they established the pipeline, so you can't fault them for it. They were scouting Sasaki since he was like literally born. Um,
Yeah.
and then left field, I want them to trade for Stephen Kwan for more consistent at bats. You get rid of Tommy Edman. You have Pajes play center or right field, and then in center field or right field, you add either a defensive minded guy, um, or you add a decent bat. I don't. We'll get into it later. I just brainstorming just because they were so close, and I was thinking about it on the drive to the airport with my mom when they were down 3-2, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck! Like this series is over." Like the way the offense looked was terrible. Um, I will say with the way Otani pitched in the World Series, I wouldn't mind seeing him not pitch a lot next season and play the field in right field.
They kind of talked about that, or someone brought that up.
And
It's
I know
interesting.
Robert said it was like he was like all hands on deck. Anybody could be playing at any position. Blah 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 blah. But like I think they need to give it a hard look because if Otani pitches and God forbid he blows out his arm again and you miss
Yeah.
him, that's the end of your dynasty. That's just what it is. Like Mookie
Yeah.
and Freddie are both on the wrong side of 30. Like they're not going to carry the team like Otani does throughout the postseason or the regular season. Um, and especially because they have two pitchers coming off the IL next year who are extremely young, and then they have Sheehan. Sasaki will be a starter. I thought that they could maybe take a look at trading Glass now to a team like the Red Sox and potentially getting one of their young players like Marcelo Mayer or Willier Abreu or Sedan Rafaela, um, trying to get younger pieces back because the team is old as fuck.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
team is old as
I
fuck.
feel like it showed, and they won the World Series. They deserved to be the champs. Of but
Yeah.
like there were moments where you were like, man, like to me, I liked what you said earlier. In terms of like the team baseball aspect, the Jays felt together to me. The Dodgers had not. It felt different from last year, just a little bit. And like again, they were the deserving champ. It just in terms of like how they were playing, and I think a part of that was age, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they hold on. I'm trying to get the Dodgers World Series winner hat, and it restocked online.
Okay, go for it. One more point, just kind of going back on what you said with Otani pitching. I think we talked about this a little bit. I think he obviously is a very talented pitcher. I don't think he's had some moments. He had a good game in the World Series. I believe he had a good game in the World. Yeah, he did.
No,
Game
yeah.
two.
The
Game
I
two.
got the email that the hat was in stock, and then I go to fucking buy the hat, and then it's out of
It's
stock.
not
So
there.
fuck rallyhouse.com. Bunch of fucking pricks. Sorry.
It was game two that he pitched, wasn't it? Well, I'm
Game
trying to look
no,
here.
he pitched game four. Game four and game seven, Otani pitched. Because it was Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Otani, Snell, Yamamoto, and then Otani pitched.
Okay, I found it. Yeah, I mean he pitched a fine in yeah, that game four. I thought. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I think that's fine. 4 runs, 6 Ks, six hit. I mean, it's not like he is a very talented pitcher. I just think it's not like for whatever reason, it's not me. I have to be careful because I'm not like hating on Otani.
No,
It's
yeah, no, yeah.
it's like the Travis Hunter situation a little bit, but the difference is he is really good at both, but he's really elite at hitting, and then like
Hmm.
he's a pretty solid pitcher. But it's not like he's this. Like he's a talented pitcher, but he's not this monumental like Paul Skeens, level.
The
Like
ball. He's not Yamamoto. I'll tell you that.
no,
And
no,
and it's crazy because I think if you, I mean, I think you could even agree on this, but like if you ask most like baseball insiders, or like if you were given the opportunity to ask them like who has top 10 stuff in the MLB, I mean, Otani has an arsenal of like 6 or 7 pitches, and they're all disgusting. Like he can still hit
for
100
sure.
miles per hour, and so it's baffling that he's not better. And I get
I think the
obviously
eye
he's
test makes that obvious too. I mean, I think
yeah.
people see it. It's just not for whatever reason. Like it's just not.
I mean, he had a good game against the Brewers where he went 6 scoreless, 10 strikeouts. But like the Phillies game, I think he did okay, but he didn't go very long in the game, maybe 5 innings, and he gave up 2 or 3 runs. I just,
I think he just needs. He didn't pitch to start the regular season. I think he just needs a legitimate like regular season maybe under his belt post injury, right?
yeah, I
That'll
just,
help. I don't
they
know,
have
but I
so
know
like,
your concern is fair. I mean, it's
yeah,
like
they just have so many pitchers, and like especially, I mean, if they wanted to really ruin baseball, I mean, we can go. I guess that'll be another episode. But like the Tigers offered Escobar was like 4 for 80. I read somewhere like it was just like so disrespectful. And I don't know
yeah.
if that was true or not, but they didn't give him enough. Like they should have just given him a blank check with how good he is. And if the Dodgers go and try and pick him up, I mean, even with the team they have now, next year, it's going to be Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, River Ryan, Gavin Stone, Emmett Sheehan, Roki Sasaki. If I mean they're going to pitch Otani, which I still don't agree with. But that's 8 starting pitchers. Like you don't
Yeah.
have, and Robleski is 9, so it's like you don't have space for a 9-man starting rotation. I think that there's a world where Otani could practice pitching throughout the regular season and spot starts, but play the right field because of need, and especially because he's played right field before, and he would be an instant upgrade over Teoscar. Um, I
It's not
digress.
a crazy. It's not a crazy idea. I think some people might look at it as wasted talent, but it's also like conserving talent at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like making sure. It's kind of a weird. It's a weird. It's a weird. It's a great position, but a weird position, right? Like,
If he gets hurt, then it's like
yeah.
I don't know. So
Um, let's transition. That was great. I love the breakdown there. Needed it. We were due for some big baseball content there. We got a lot to talk about in the NFL, so
yeah,
let's hit on it. Let's start with the trade deadline because that's kind of the obvious stuff. I've got an interesting take with this Quentin Williams trade. We'll get into the Sauce trade as well, but can we? And this could have been said on TV. I have not been tapped in yet, so maybe this is original, maybe not. But I think this Quentin Williams to the Cowboys trade proves that the Micah trade was like an ego thing for Jerry. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me in terms of logistics. Like, the Micah trade was good. I'm not taking away from the Micah trade necessarily. Like, I think Dallas, I mean, they got good value out of it, but like, why would you trade for an older defensive star when you had the young one? That's what like kind of messes me up in terms of like,
I I mean, I think before the Micah trade, everybody knew that Jerry was this egotistical bastard.
for
Um,
sure. Well,
and
yes,
he,
but
he
like
fucking
this
sucks at his
move,
job. I
yeah.
will say that Micah's only 2 years younger or a year younger than Quinnen Williams, so it's
I
not like
thought it
they're
was more. So maybe I thought it was like 3.
the
So
the thing that's weird is that you traded for Kenny Clark in that situation. You gave up a first and a second for Quinnen Williams, but you wouldn't trade a first for Trey Hendrickson. Like, what the fuck? Why would, like, what is the thought process there? I mean, they have a great interior defense now, and they have Logan Wilson now. Cool.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs fucking sucks. Deron Bland fucking
Their
sucks.
defense is still going to be bad. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
it's
watched
not
a good
saving their
amount.
season.
No, I watched a good amount of that game last night. I mean, the secondary was gashed. Bland was on the floor, on the grass. Excuse me, we're not talking basketball. Sorry, he was on the grass after one little cut from Marvin Harrison. I mean, just nowhere to be found. Like,
Was that the ankle breaker?
yeah.
Oh, he got his ass broke.
And
I
Marvin
didn't.
Harris, don't get me wrong, Marvin Harrison's a talented wide. Like, I'm not just
Yeah.
killing Bland here, but like their secondary's cooked. It doesn't matter.
And they gave that guy 5 for 92, Deron Bland. Stupid.
I don't know.
Fucking stupid.
So I don't know. Maybe you have more. I that just puzzled me because in my like, yes, you got two firsts and another player back for Micah, and you traded for Quentin, and you gave up less. I get it, fine. Like, can't
I mean, they
argue it.
basically gave up what they got.
Pretty much, pretty much at face value, pretty much. Like, that's what. And Quentin Williams is a dog, but
Yeah.
Micah,
Bless
we're
you.
talking generational here. Quentin Williams, great. He's not. I mean, I wouldn't call him generational. Pretty dang good. Elite run stuffer and D tackle, 100%. But not generational like Micah is. That, and we'll get into the Packers later. But I mean, and they're at an interesting spot. But if they can figure it out again, and Micah is wrecking havoc in the NFC divisional game on a 3rd and long to seal a game, man, that'll look tough. That'll look very tough.
Yeah. It didn't make sense. I mean, obviously, it's a big splashy, move or whatever. I mean, they're so fucking stupid.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't even want to spend more of my hard-earned oxygen on the Cowboys just because of how inept Jerry Jones is. He doesn't deserve to win anything. Cowboys suck, and I feel bad because guys like Dak, Dak's a great human being, and he was having a really good year this year. Before the Broncos game, he was honestly in MVP talks. Like, CeeDee Lamb's a great player. Like, they have great guys on the team. They have a good offensive line. Javante's a good story. I like Overshown, the linebacker. Like,
they're a fun team this year, honestly.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones just fucking ruins it. I don't know how you could be a Cowboys fan with this ineptitude, especially because you doubled down on a position you already had. And if all Trey Hendrickson cost was getting a 1st rounder, you do that in a heartbeat over this Quinnen Williams trade, and you save a 2nd round pick. I mean, I don't think Trey Hendrickson is some like godfather fucking player like Micah is, but like, he was the sack leader last year. He still got it. Like, you need a pass rusher. Make the fucking trade.
Yeah.
You traded for Logan Wilson, so you were on the phone with the fucking Bengals. Just how stupid can you be? And you have to pay. And I mean, Pickens is probably going to walk this offseason. They're not going to pay him wide receiver 1 money. Javonte Williams might go get a bag from another team for the season he's had.
Yeah.
Right? Just total fucking foundational ineptitude. I withdraw. I'm not talking about the Cowboys anymore.
We're moving on.
Oxygen is worth too much.
We have a big, and we got a lot of NFL to talk about, so I'm good with that. I had to get my piece out there. Jerry just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if they had just stuck with the Micah trade, I would have been like, we're good. Like, you got 2 firsts, you're rebuilding. Hey, we're legit. But now you're like trying to contend again. So what? You want 2nd in the NFC East? Go for it. Go for it.
They won't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. So the Jets also made another move. 2 firsts from the Colts and Mitchell. for Sauce Gardner. Big splash, big. I mean, as a AFC South merchant and fan, this is alarming in terms of where we're going in the future, because I think what this means is, sure, we'll see if the trade pans out. I think they got fleeced, but I do think they're going to reap the rewards while getting fleeced. I think they gave up too much, but I think they're a legit contender in the AFC. I think they're number, let's see, they're probably number 4, probably.
You're not going to like what I have barreled up in my mouth after what you say.
I mean, now let's. I want to see that could age very poorly, because I did bet the Steelers to win that Colts game. They obviously did, and the Colts looked really, really bad.
Guess who showed up? New York Danny Dimes, baby.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, Vegas likes the Colts. I don't know if this was a one-off, or if this was like the Steelers game was a one-off, or if this is who they are. I don't know. But that move makes me think they think they're good, and I don't know. I think it helps the secondary that was weakened, and if Jonathan Taylor can get back into form, a really weird outlier game against Pittsburgh. I'm sure that didn't help Daniel Jones either. We're about to find out, because the Colts have, I believe, both. Well, at least KC, maybe Buffalo as well.
I mean, they're going to look good this week because they play fucking Atlanta. So everyone's going to overreact to this Atlanta game. And oh my God, the Colts are the new team in the AFC to beat. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, yeah. They've got KC after Atlanta, after a bye, and then Houston, and then they have to still go to Seattle. That's going to be wild.
They're going to get fucking shelled in Seattle.
I kind of agree.
Yeah. Let's play a fun game.
Yeah.
Let's play the game of, are the Colts better than? Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
In the postseason,
100%.
Give the Colts home field advantage.
Okay.
Are the Colts going to beat the Chiefs at home?
No.
Are the Colts going to beat the Bills at home?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Are the Colts going to beat the Broncos at home?
Well, I did, but I'm going to say...
In the postseason, Sean Payton, are you going to take... If you go by your metric of...
I have to be fair, and
coach, quarterback...
Bo has just looked not... He's had great fourth quarters, and everything else has just been awful. It's really hard for me right now. But
I'll tell you what,
I really like the Broncos defense though to rattle. So I hesitate, but I say Broncos.
Okay. Here are some fun ones.
Okay.
Are the Colts better than the Ravens?
So if the Ravens make the playoffs, that's the
when
hard
the Ravens
part.
Win their division. Book it.
Here's the hard part for me is I am with you. If you're making me, make my pick and blah blah blah, I have Baltimore winning the division, and I have them in the playoffs, and I possibly have them in the AFC Championship. That being said, they've got a long road ahead, and it just it's hard for me to, get through that, right? You know what I'm like?
The Ravens have 5 gimmies on their schedule.
Completely against them, but it's tough. You know what I mean? If we have that theoretical, though, I'm going Baltimore, 100%.
Okay, now here's a really fun one.
I know this one. I know for sure.
The Patriots.
And this one's really tough. I love what Drake May's doing.
Better quarterback, better head coach. Need I say more? Better defense. Better cornerback, better defensive line, The only thing
CG
the Colts
low-key
have
again.
are offensive line and weapons.
So here's what I want to say, because you're definitely like in the right headspace, but we do, outside of one game this week, which they lost, the Colts have arguably easily, easily the offensive player of the year, as of right now. And a possible, if he like somehow keeps this up and they're like 14-3, could he be an MVP candidate?
No.
No shot. Is he
No.
your offensive player of the year though? At least.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if
I mean, that's the part where I'm like, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you, and then I'm like, Jonathan Taylor, offensive line, like, that could be an issue for a team like Baltimore. I think a team like New England would probably figure that out. Denver, I think, would be fine. I hope. I trust KC to figure that out. I don't. Buffalo.
the
Yeah,
Colts defense is not good.
Colts defense is not good for sure.
I stamp that. Even with Sauce, even if they get Sauce in his rookie and second year prime,
Yeah, it's
all you
gonna
have
be
to
it's gonna be interesting.
all you have to do is stop the run, and you beat
Yeah.
the Colts.
Yeah.
And
No,
then,
it's-
especially in the playoffs, when people know that that's coming,
I want to look at the because I saw some. I just want to look at the Super Bowl odds and just
I'll tell you what. Looking down the road, yeah, the Colts are going to make the playoffs this year. Absolutely,
Yeah.
we can both agree on that. When next year comes, and teams start to figure out this team, and they have a full off season to prepare, and Danny Dimes isn't looking too hot,
yeah.
and the defense takes a step back, and the offensive line, for as good as it is, they've had bad years.
They have.
So when that first round pick hits the following year in 2020, the 2027 pick that they got, the Jets might be picking in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, it's very possible. I think it's so interesting. I like to see where, the odds are. They have them, because I kind of agree with you, but I don't hate where they have them. KC, Buffalo, Philly, Detroit, Rams, Colts.
Seahawks are better by
Yeah.
a wide margin.
Yeah.
I would go as far as to say, and I'm not even a big fan of them, the Packers are better than the Colts. The Seahawks
They're
are better than
very
the Colts.
close. Yeah.
The let's see who else I can throw in there.
Well, you think so you think the Ravens, we both think the Ravens are better. Their
Oh,
issue in terms of odds is the schedule. So that, it makes sense. Their odds
But the
are way
Ra-
below because, they're
Don't the Ravens play 5 more divisional games from this point up forward? That's 5 wins.
yes. But I'm just trying to explain this kind of like, because their odds to make the playoffs are dramatically different from all the other contenders, then their Super Bowl odds are therefore like brought
Yeah,
down.
no, I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think that their playoff. I mean, the Steelers beating the Colts is a little hairy because I thought that was a penciled-in loss for them, and
Yeah.
that would have put the Steelers at like 4-3, or they wouldn't have had 5 wins. I think they would have been 4-4 or 4-3, and then the Ravens were sitting at 3-5. Like, if you pencil in 5 more wins for them, that's 8-5, and then I don't know who else they have on the rest of their schedule, but I have to assume that it's easier than the start when they played Detroit, Buffalo, Kansas City, the Rams. Like, they had a shitter of a schedule the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume they don't in the back half.
They don't.
I get that it's crazy to say. I don't even think this is. I don't think that the Texans are necessarily better than the Colts. as a whole. But when Daniel Jones has to step up and play good against that Texans defense,
Yeah, I'm very curious to watch how that goes because it could be very eye opening for some people. I don't know if the Texans can win, but Danny Dimes could have 3 turnovers, and then like Davis Mills has 4.
I
Like,
mean, the Steelers forced 5 turnovers on Daniel Jones this past game.
which is
That
wild. Which is
shitty old
wild.
defense
They've been
that gave
bad all year
I,
long.
they gave up 40 something to Joe
Besides the Patriots
Flacco.
game. Yeah,
Like, I don't know. We won't be talking about the Colts past the divisional round in the playoffs. I'll tell you
no,
that.
I think that's very fair. It's probably going to be Chiefs, Bills, or Chiefs, Ravens in that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else there, but I mean, it's interesting though. I mean, it helps their defense. Regardless, it gives them a cornerstone cornerback that Nico
Isn't
Collins.
Daniel Jones a free agent after this offseason too?
I think so. I think it was a 1-year deal.
So they're gonna have to pay him money.
Yeah.
LOL.
I mean, I hope I
LOL.
hope you're really right on this because I'm not sleeping great right now.
I I get that they're all excited about this year, and I still stand by this. Please, if they believe so much in Daniel Jones, trade away Anthony Richardson,
Yeah, they didn't. I thought they for sure would. I thought they'd
right?
trade him to Oakland, bro. Las Vegas. Sorry.
Trade him to the Rams for a 6th rounder. If you're so confident in Daniel Jones being the guy,
Yeah.
trade him away and get who I don't know who is the third string. It's not Minshew anymore, is it?
No, Minshew is
With the Raiders?
I think I think he's in. Yeah, I think that's right. I saw him play somewhere this year. I swear I did. I'm looking it
Yeah.
up.
Trade away Anthony Richardson this offseason and sign Daniel Jones to a long-term
Oh,
contract.
that's
Don't give
right.
him.
He's Chief. Yep.
Oh wow. Okay, good for the Chiefs. Yeah. Trade Anthony Richardson after this year and go all in on this being your guy.
Yeah.
I triple dog dare them, dude. I this whole career resurgence shit is just so hilarious to me because they get a couple years out of a quarterback, like a la Geno Smith. You get a couple good years out of a quarterback, then they have to go fend for themselves somewhere else and they shit the bed. The only exception so far has been Sam Darnold, and this is only his.
I was just gonna say, you might have to.
But this is only his 2nd year doing it, and this is with Kubiak. So if Kubiak gets a job somewhere and they switch to a different offensive scheme and Sam Darnold has to like actually play quarterback as opposed to getting spoon-fed reads and spoon-fed routes from probably the best wide receiver in the league right now. No,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
And especially if he opts out of his deal this offseason and goes to chase a bag. I mean, I'm sure he'll stay in Seattle, but if he
Talking about
if
Darnold.
he Darnold, like if he declines his player option, I think it is, or team. I don't know if it's a team option or a player option, but if it is a player option, and he declines and he wants to go re-up for some more money, Seattle, please pay him $50 million a year. I beg you, because when that offensive line starts to leak in the postseason and they're playing Detroit in a heightened game in Detroit, and that defensive line is bearing down Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, and Sam Darnold has to make a fucking play, the proof is already out there.
Yeah.
I think Seattle is legit. I eat shit on my take earlier. They've been much better offensively than anyone would have expected. Even in Seattle, I don't think people expected them to be this good.
Well, I'll just interject only because so if you remember, I told people to take Seattle's over, and I said Rams were my division winner. However, Seahawks are plus 500. If you want a little bit of a good number, you take Seattle for sure. And the defense is really good, and obviously, I mean, very good. Leonard Williams has overperformed, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and JSN. I think the story is like Darnold's been great. It's a continuance of last year in Minnesota. JSN has literally matched Jettis in performance and in stats, essentially. I think Justin Jefferson is a better receiver talent. He's like a Randy Moss, but in terms of what we're seeing, I mean, JSN's the best wide receiver in football, essentially, in terms of production. It's not even that close. So
No.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, no one's touching that Cooper Cup beer. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I mean, we're in the present. This is like when people are like, going back to like 2005 USC. I'm like, Cooper
I mean,
Cup.
it's not really that crazy to say. Yeah, JSN is
All right.
having.
Well, wait, hold on. Okay, So we're just saying like if you're comparing seasons.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Sorry, maybe you misunderstood me. All I'm saying is, in terms of who's the best receiver right now, it's like the best receiver talents are Jettis and Chase, but like JSN is right there. Like if what I'm saying is, it's hard for me if you put a gun to my head or whatever, and you're like pick one receiver that you want on your team right now. I'm probably picking Justin Jefferson, but like JSN's production makes me definitely pause for a second and think about it. That's really my point.
no, no. I agree. I mean, I think ask 32 teams in the NFL which receiver who would they take. Even Seattle. Justin Jefferson is the guy.
Yeah,
I just don't think. I don't think JSN. I mean, people like a lot of Seahawks and Rams banter, and maybe this is what the holdup is for me. I saw a lot of Seahawks fans saying, "Oh, the production that Puka gets is inflated because he's in the McVay offense. He's not as good of a receiver." And it's like, okay,
that's a dumb.
Are we not watching the same JSN get the same, like maybe not the same amount of targets, but the same amount of receptions? Like JSN is the offense there. Like sprinkle it to Horton, sprinkle it to Barner. Run for a little bit.
Yeah, he's the offense.
Once they add an actual like number 2 receiver, and they got Shaheed, but like that's more of like a scheme ploy, I would say.
Very interesting addition, though.
He'll help them, but not like a wide receiver 2, like an a la like Pickens and Lamb, Puka and Devontae, Higgins and Chase. Like he doesn't have a running mate, and everyone hyped up this guy to be him. Bro is going to be gone next year.
Yeah. Rashid Shaheed, you mean? Or who's gone? Cut. Yeah.
They're cutting his ass so fast this offseason to get JSN a player next to him. And I think JSN's in his 3rd year, so they're going to have to pay him soon. So it's like, is he going to get Jefferson and Chase money?
For sure. Probably.
I mean, is he better than Jamar Chase, though? Are you going to pay him over $40 million?
I mean, that's what is like really challenging with this thing because, I mean,
like, I'll give you an example. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
You 100% go.
Okay.
Finally.
Like, the Rams have $90 million in cap space this offseason. They're going to be in the top 5. And people are like, okay, pay Puka, pay Byron Young, pay Kobe Turner, pay Steve Avila. If Puka Nacua wants $40 million a year, I look at that and I go, I don't think that there's many positions in the NFL where $40 million is warranted, and I get the cap is going up year by year. The only 2 positions that are that vital to a team, in my opinion, are quarterback and a pass rusher, like an edge guy that can kind of do it all. Like
if you have a perennial left tackle somehow and you hit the jackpot, you pay that guy.
I mean, yeah, but you're not paying. I'm saying $40 million. You're not paying a tackle $40 million. So like, I agree. Like if you have a jet like Joe Alt or like a Rashawn Slater, I think Slater. I mean, maybe Slater's getting that. No, he's getting 30 million a year. I think that's the going rate for
Soon it's going to get to 40, I think.
soon.
But
Yes,
yeah, anyways, yeah.
but then the Jamar Chase contract will get one upped by somebody. Because I mean, Justin Jefferson got put on a really good contract when you think about it, because he's getting 33 million, 34,
Yeah.
uh, to be the best at your position. Like, point being is that I think JSN is a product of the Kubiak offense, just the way that Puka is a product of the McVay offense. And I
Yeah.
think that to a degree, both are replaceable. Now, Puka's probably more replaceable, but at the same time, they're just two separate and entirely different receivers in the way they play. But like,
Yeah.
as a Rams fan, I mean, if Puka needed to be paid after this offseason and he was like, I want 40 million or you're gonna have to move me, and the Rams have a top pick where they could potentially go get Makai Lemon or Jordan Tyson. I mean, I think this Makai Lemon kid is literally just Puka Nakua, but in a smaller frame.
Yeah.
Give me the younger receiver that's making way less money. Like I I literally would cut off my toe if Puka Nakua needed it. But if Puka Nakua needed $40 million, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
They would make it. I mean, they're gonna pay him and they'll probably pay him 40 because they can just do void years and all that jazz.
yeah. But
But
if he wanted 30, okay, like I can live with that. But like $40 million for a receiver that's not named Justin Jefferson, and even the Jamar Chase money, it's like I don't think Jamar Chase is as good as Justin Jefferson.
yeah, well, and that's my point. I think what you said about JSN and like the Puka and Jetta, that's my point. Is like Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football, and it's like the Andre Johnson situation where, you know, Justin Jefferson is more talented than Andre Johnson, but Andre Johnson had to work with so many different quarterbacks and just chaos consistently, and there are system wide receivers, and JSN and Puka both deserve 100 like full credit for what's going on. Like they're outstanding receivers, but Justin Jefferson is better.
Is the system.
Like Megatron was better than everyone else. Not even close, right? Like same deal. But yeah, the Seahawks are interesting. They're going to be fun to watch as we go down the stretch. We're running out of time, but really quick, I wanted to just hit on this last NFL Sunday because it was pretty like just unbelievable. I mean, I don't think I've seen a game in a long time that was like the Bears-Bengals game. That was just wild. I bet on the Bears -2.5, and it wasn't like I had like big money on it or anything, but it was still, that was just a roller coaster. Like they somehow the onside hit one of the Bears special teams guys his foot, and he bounces the Bengals way, and then Flacco goes down. They take a 1-point lead, and then you're thinking, okay, Caleb, they're going to get the game-winning field goal, and then they can't, and then the Bengals can't tackle Colson Loveland. Like just insane play, insane game. Flacco threw for 470. Each team had over 500 yards of offense. The Bears running back, who's kind of new onto the scene, Kyle.
The non-guy.
Yeah, he had
174.
Yeah, 176 on the ground, 198 total. It's like, wow.
No defense showed up that day.
No. I mean, both those defenses are pretty garbage. And then Vikings, this is what I wanted to talk about, and we can't go quite down, the rabbit hole too much, but Vikings beat the Lions, Panthers beat the Packers. Crazy. Both of those are crazy results. I mean, like hold on. In podcast, I will later. JJ McCarthy balled out, so we'll start with that. I mean, JJ McCarthy balled out. The Lions just couldn't, I didn't watch the game through and through, but it looked like they just couldn't quite get enough going. The ground game didn't seem to hit as it did against most defenses. Um, did Goffin have any turnovers? No turnovers.
No, McCarthy had one pick, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they just couldn't get the ground going. Gibbs had 9 carries for 25. Montgomery had 11 for 40, and that's kind of where their offense stems from, right? Um, you have McCarthy, 2 tutties. Didn't really not that great, but they did enough, which is crazy. Um, and then Packers lost to the Panthers, which the Panthers, shout out to Carolina, 5-4. Yeesh. I mean, they've shown up, man. Won 4 of the last 5. Um, I mean, they lost to Buffalo, but beat Dolphins, beat Cowboys, beat Jets, beat Packers. I mean, look at them go. Um, the Packers might not be contenders, and that is just crazy to me. I thought they were both the
And they
Lions
lost
were
Kraft.
vulnerable, but my goodness, dude, you cannot lose to Carolina at home. That's bad.
They lost Tucker Kraft too
Yep,
for
that's
the
a big
season.
deal. That was their wide receiver 1. Tucker Kraft was their wide receiver 1. So they're in trouble. They can't get the run game going right now with Jacobs. He's kind of having an off year. Still believe in him, but off year there. And Jordan Love, man, like I try and back up the talent, but there's this huge inconsistency problem with Jordan Love that just kind of blows my mind. I mean, he looked great in the last game on Sunday night against that Steelers defense that forced 5 turnovers on Daniel Jones, and then he goes out at home to the Panthers and they put up 13 points. He passed for 270, but had a pick, a couple missed opportunities in the red zone. They were 1 for 5. Brutal. They
Yep.
they might be in serious trouble. Do you have any thoughts there?
I'll tell you what, these Packers aren't winning the Super Bowl. I don't think LaFleur. I mean, I'm not going to blame the coach for the players not making plays, but I don't think in this LaFleur era they've made it to a championship game.
Yeah.
It's a little befuddling. I'm not going to victory lap because I still think they have a chance to win the division. As funny as that is, like because the Lions choked away that game just as hard as the Packers choked away their game. Obviously,
literally.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it all stems back to not having a number 1 wide receiver, like a guy that can really create separation, like a prime guy. The defenses are like, holy shit, like that's like they're scheming up plays for Savion Williams, who was their 3rd round pick out of TCU, when Matthew Golden is right there for you.
Yeah.
It's this wide receiver by committee bullshit. I can't think of another team in the last. Name me the last team that won a Super Bowl. I mean, you could say the Chiefs, but
They had Kelsey. Because that kind
they had Kelsey, and on top of that, Andy Reid, and this guy named Patrick Mahomes, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I can't pick another team that doesn't have a wide receiver 1 who's won the Super Bowl in the last however many years, where there wasn't like a clear like guy that's outperforming the other players, or even like a receiving up. I mean, Tucker Kraft, yeah, but like, I mean, Tucker Kraft is. I think he's a great player, but like
the Eagles, the 1 year weird.
they had Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, but was Alshon? That was the name in my head as well. Was he
He's like the if you need to get bailed out, throw it up, and 17 is down there somewhere.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah,
And I did not forget Alshon, but I was thinking like, was he really like that guy? Because he was that guy in Chicago,
yeah.
and
No,
you know,
he was. I, I think he was. He's more of a wide receiver one, I'll say, than anybody on this Packers sorry ass team.
I agree. Actually, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. um, it's crazy. And then the Micah trade, like he's just not producing statistic. I mean, I think he's still playing well. It's just weird that he's not finishing. And I think that I had said earlier in the year that even with Micah added to their defense, they still had holes because they traded Kenny Clark. I don't really like their interior run defense, and then the corners are kind of like they have a good safety duo. They have a good good couple linebackers, and then obviously Micah. But like, there's clear deficiencies in their defense, and it's not like they got skunked by the Panthers. Like it was a close game, but yeah, the offense and Jordan Love.
It's big concerning. It's very concerning. I mean,
Yeah,
it's funny you kind of said it the way you did because I was looking forward to taking a victory lap on my Lions hate, and I've kind of been like, hey, like this is, you're not
it's
going to
the
be as
battle
good.
of mid in the NFC North.
And then, yeah, sure enough, the Packers like managed to ruin that. So I guess neither of us really won with those two games.
Yeah, it.
I mean, that
I
it actually, I mean, you for sure won because the Rams, and look, it just solidifies their case even more. I mean,
uh,
the weeks that continue to go by and the Rams don't get national TV coverage and they just continue to just kill teams. Like,
listen, listen. I appreciate it until they beat a team in the NFC that's not the fucking Saints. They have the Niners coming up. They have the Seahawks the following week.
my
They,
favorite bet of next week.
the
I think
Rams.
the Rams are going to destroy. And I know this is not what you want to hear because you're the fan. I get it. From a neutral perspective, and a guy who just bet a really good amount on the Texans to beat the Niners. That defense is cooked.
Well,
I don't care what Mac Jones or Purdy does. I don't care if they get 28. The Rams are going to get 35.
I hope you're right. They did lose Michael Williams. I really hope that Brock Purdy is starting the game next week. I would
Yeah.
love to see Brock Purdy over Mac Jones based on how the last game went. Um, but like, I get the Rams are like kind of this sneaky new team, like the odds on DraftKings. They're the NFC favorites.
Yeah. I just think
They're
this is their coming out party. I think this is like, okay, let me rephrase a little bit because they've been a contender. They just won a Super Bowl not long ago. So they're here, right? But
yeah.
this is their, in terms of this season and the attention they've been getting and the Stafford MVP, this is the like, they're the 325 perennial game because Jaden Daniels is hurt. So it is all about Niners Rams. And
Yeah. Um,
so
I just you got Niners, Seahawks, I think then Tampa Bay, and then the Panthers, then the Lions, and then Seattle again.
yeah,
Out of those, I mean, let's just okay. Seattle, Niners, Lions, Bucks. That's 5 NFC games against. As a Rams fan, I'm counting the Niners because of what I've seen the last 10 years of my lifetime. If the Rams go 2-3, they're not making it far. If they go 3-2, I'll be cautiously optimistic. If they go 4-1, I'll be like, holy shit. If they somehow go 5-0,
I mean that's fair. I can't
just
argue that.
they choked that game. The 2 losses they've had this year, they choked the game away so fucking hard. And it's like, am I even watching? Like, did they find like a Pee Wee football team and switch out the 53-man roster, and it's just this new team? Like it. I don't know. I think the Seahawks deserve to be the one in the NFC with how
Yeah.
they've played. Their defense, I think, is up there with the Rams, and I think that they have more talent at
I
that secondary.
is Or you keep going, keep going. Then I'll
Sorry,
make my
I
second.
just their secondary is more talented. I think the defensive lines are extremely
Sure.
close, but with Leonard Williams playing the way he is, it is what it is. I do
100%.
like the Rams linebackers maybe a smidge more just because Nate Landman has been playing out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
That white boy can fucking play, dude. I love Nate Landman. Um, the thing that really gets me is the offenses and the Rams. This is how the Rams offense should be every single fucking week of the season with two number one receivers, two solid running backs. Your boy is coming into your form. I'm not gonna say his name until it happens, but that motherfucker might be the best tight end in the draft, which is crazy. Gadsden, Warren, Loveland,
Yeah. But we'll
Ferguson.
we'll,
Say his
we'll,
name three times and he gets a 20-yard reception. That motherfucker's cold, and he moves like a tight end that plays and has played in the AFC West for about a decade now. So if he
I
continues,
watch this guy every single week for 3 years. Like, well, listen, do I have my scouting report perfect on Warren and other guys and Loveland? Sure, I don't, but like, I watched that guy for every single game, every single snap. I don't know how he went that late, but anyways, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Yeah, the Seahawks defense is better. I don't think there's any question in my mind. Like, I think both the Rams put up a good fight in terms of comparison, but you pretty much nailed it on the head. In terms of secondary comparison, linebacker comparison, D-line comparison, pretty much agree with everything there. I just think like the easy way between the two teams is Stafford, Darnold, McVay, McDonald. Like, I'm going Stafford and McVay pretty much till I die. It's an Andy Reid Mahomes situation. So prove me wrong. Like, let's get it.
yeah,
I know you've
I
had
will.
some slight McVay issues and whatnot, but
I would be shocked if one of them doesn't come out of the NFC this season. Like up until this point, if the
yeah.
playoffs were to start now, and probably the two hottest teams in the NFC as well. And I will
If you
say that both.
gave me a bet of Seahawks or Rams versus the rest of the NFC,
Yeah, smashing.
yeah, I would take it. I'd take it. I'm kind of with you.
I will say though, both teams have basically beat not amazing teams this year. I think the Rams' best victory was against the Colts, and that was the Adonai Mitchell game. And then the Seahawks' best win this year came against.
Because they lost to Tampa.
They lost to Tampa, lost to the Niners week 1. I want to say that I don't think the Commanders were their best win.
I mean,
But
Seahawks beat the Steelers. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Tampa beat the Seattle, which Seattle should have won that game. Whole other. Seattle beat Jacksonville and Houston. And then Commanders. So
I mean,
that's fair.
I don't think either team has beat. I mean, neither team has beat an NFC contender yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up this year since they haven't played against each other already. But I mean, they're arguably the two hottest teams in the entire NFL, let alone the NFC.
The NFC has taken back, I think, a little bit of their bragging rights, because for a while there, for a couple of years, it was like, man, it's the AFC, and then Burrow hurt, Lamar hurt, and that definitely opened the door.
Josh Allen fucking trash.
Well, I can't talk much about that because I had the Chiefs winning and they didn't. So, but I'm not worried about we could do like 5 more NFL topics, but we hit big on the World Series, which is huge. So we'll try and do another one at some point soon. But yeah, the NFC has taken it's a little more even than it was, for sure. They've gotten some swagger back. Devontae looks good, man. Adams, of
That
course.
fade ball,
Sheesh.
Devon Witherspoon, buddy. Josh Joe, buddy.
Let me just, okay. This is my last thing, and then we'll cut this one. I just want to see what the number is for, like, right as of right now for the Rams game.
I bet since it's the Rams
Why
at
are
home.
people betting San Fran? Oh my gosh, this is an easy bet. My goodness.
Oh, you're talking about that game?
Yeah.
I thought you were looking into. I guess the line isn't probably out for Seattle and Rams
Oh,
the week after. I think it's since the Rams are at home, and you said the -3 for the home team. I bet it's -2.5 for the Rams. Week 11.
on the dot, -2.5.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim.
What's the
Yeah.
Rams Niners line this week
3.5, -3.5.
for the
Right.
Rams?
Yeah, I'm nuking that bet. If they don't win by 14, I will be shocked. And like clip that, whatever, I'll own it next week and I'll apologize if they somehow lose.
Yeah, you're the jinx of all jinxes, bro.
Well, I've gotten Super Bowl picks, but anyways, yeah. I there's just I don't see it. People are literally like, in my football opinion, because 50%, it's like dead even right now. 50% of people are betting Rams, 50% of people are betting Niners. People are literally betting on a logo. They're betting on a logo if you're betting on the Niners. Fair enough.
If we come back on this podcast and the Niners fucking beat the Rams again, I probably will just retire from sports.
There's just is no, like, they might not cover. If they don't cover, like, I've seen crazier things. I just don't see how they lose. I know it's in San Fran, but even the spread should tell you the fact that that means they think the Rams are a touchdown better than the Niners right now.
Wait, the Rams are favored by 3.5, right?
Yeah, but home field is worth 3 points. So, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're saying if the Niners, now we essentially saw this game, but if the Niners played the Rams in SoFi this week, it would be -10 on the dot. Because it's a 6-point swing.
Yeah, I just don't like the Rams when they're favored by that many points against the Niners.
Yeah, but it's 3.5 this week. That's all we got to worry about. And they're just, I don't know. See, I'll say this, and then we'll go. The Rams defense is giving me some, like, if Brock Purdy throws for 275 and has 2 tutties, and they score 24, 27 points, I won't be like mouth on the floor shocked. Like, for some reason, Kyle Shanahan offensively has just kind of had a number on him. I don't think, like, I'm not naive to that fact. I don't know, since that game, the Thursday night game that, haunts you and haunts me slightly, like, they've just continued to lose guys, and the Rams aren't losing guys at the same pace. They're just not. I mean, it's just a fact. I'm knocking for sure, but like, sheesh. They're literally just dropping for San Fran. I mean, in the Houston game, like 5 guys went out on defense.
And since that Niners game against the Rams, they lost Fred Warner for the year, and they just lost their first rounder, Michael Williams.
It's a complete different game, like, to me, especially without Fred Warner. But we'll see. We'll see, what happens in between now and then. But I feel great about that. So, anything else before we get out of here? Great episode.
Go Dodgers.
Fair enough. Go Dodgers, baby. Stros Nation. We're back next year.
I don't know.
We won't make the playoffs, but
Hunter Brown to the Dodgers.
I'd be so mad, low key.
There, there's no way.
That'd be
Skubal to the
trouble.
Dodgers. What's going to be crazy is
There's
when the
I call this LA Los Angeles sickness. You think
I,
your teams can just get like everyone?
well, we didn't even talk about the one other team in LA that looks scary out of all of them. But I will say, when the
They look
Mets
good
get
right now.
Skubal, the Mets will get Skubal in the offseason. And when Skeens is available, goodbye league. Welcome home to the Dodgers.
Very possible. All right, episode 23 in the books. Appreciate y'all. If you made it to the end, everything's down below as always. We had our picks out this week, which is good. Got those back up. Hayden and I did not do great this week. I don't know how it ended up, but it's not a great one. We'll just go over this really quick so you guys will know to follow. Hayden and I both had Lions -8.5. Both had Chargers -9.5. And both had Packers -13.5. So
W
um,
picks.
luckily we both had the Rams. But um,
Oh yeah.
anyway, appreciate y'all. See y'all probably next week. Next week. Peace.